Hello, everybody. My name is Angelica Corral with What in the World Events. And today we have special guest for Hispanic Heritage Month, uh, one of our famous Latinas here on LinkedIn, Ariadne Medrano. And she's going to tell us about her wonderful life, her history behind what she's doing, and also what she's doing. So, Adi, over to you, my love.
Hi, y'all. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to be here with you and to be with all our folks out in these LinkedIn streets. I've been looking forward to this. I love being in your presence. I love being in your energy. And one of the other things I love to do is just share all things miracle mindset. So I'm excited to get started. Thanks.
I'm excited too. I want to go back because we have so much in common being Chicanas, and I want to hear about your background.
Hmm.
Where'd you grow up, and a little bit about what it was like to be Adi.
I love that. I don't get asked that question enough, quite frankly. So I am really happy to share that, especially it being right Hispanic Heritage Month as we recognize our roots. So I was born in Guadalajara, Mexico. I know that's really surprising to people because I always get, but you don't have an accent. I don't know what to tell you. I will tell you that my primos and primas in Mexico say I absolutely have an accent. They just call it a gringo accent. But I was born there, I should say. I only grew up there for about a year, and then we came out here on a permanent vacation. And we ended up staying in the United States. We came on, like I said, vacation, and then we went through all the routes and we became naturalized. And I grew up, actually, my first 2 years was in Gardena and East Los Angeles. We had doors open, like many, people who come from other countries stay with family members, right? And so we stayed with primas and primos and my aunties and my uncles and did all the things for 2 years. And then we ended up being in Whittier, California. And so Southern California, Whittier, California, that's where I ended up. And I went through the school system there for 12 years. Yeah, good old Catholic girl back then.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then like the trajectory of my life happened right after that, right? So then I started working and doing all the things. But my life, I had five brothers and sisters, so there were five of us. Actually six, but my mother lost a child in the womb,
Mhm.
so there were five of us here. Three of which were from Guadalajara, and then two my mother had here in the United States.
Nice, big family. I love big families.
Big family, for sure. Goodness gracious. I don't know how my mother did not leave, quite frankly. I said, I just give hats off to you for not walking out that door and leaving all those kids behind.
So tell me about your parents and what you like most about them.
Oh, again, Angelica, thank you so much. Don't get a chance to talk about this as much. So my daddy just I'm thinking of the word in Spanish, just retired at
Mhm.
80 years old. So my father is he's 80 years old,
Mhm.
just retired, and he retired as the marketing sales vice president for Tampico Spice Company. I am extremely proud of that because he had a sixth grade education
Mm.
out to the United States. So he started working for a jewelry company here that you all know, but he started in the back room in the stock, janitor, cleaning things up.
Mhm.
He went on to work for almost a decade for them as their number one salesperson in the front of the stores. And then he became a training of trainers for anyone
Okay.
in Southern California. And
Mhm.
then he put himself through school. He got his degree multiple when he was in his 50s. So God bless his heart. I mean, we talk about a total comeback story, right? He
Mhm.
also did the entrepreneurial thing. He opened up a store in East Los Angeles, I think, called the Pink Lady and the Blue Boy. Uh, After we got robbed for the first time, he was like, "I'm out, deuces. I'm out of here."
Mm.
Not doing this. But I remember being like underneath the tables and looking out, always seeing him work. And my mother, was creating shawls and things like that. So just
Mhm.
really, really hard workers and really
Yes,
just live the American dream. Yeah.
beautiful. And tell me about the personality. Tell me about your dad and
Oh,
mom's personality.
Daddy never met a friend that or I should say he never had a friend he didn't meet, right? So
Mm.
everyone was a friend, everyone.
Mhm,
He will walk, and till this day, let me just, oh my gosh. So even when my mother was in the hospital this last year,
mhm.
he knew everybody in all the units, not just her unit. He knew everybody. I mean, the receptionist loved him, administrators loved him, patients asked for him. Like it was, I'm like, how, how do they know you, Daddy? Like, oh, well, he came in and
Awesome.
introduced us and said, is there anything that he can do for us? And I'm like, oh my.
Mhm, mhm.
So he has a beautiful, big, bold, like he walks in a room and everybody knows that he's here, right? Kind of
Mhm,
presence. So he has a
mhm.
very large spirit and a very warm one. So he definitely attracts people to him. So yeah, he's loved by everybody. He doesn't have a stop button, so he's the one that we have to say, "Daddy, the turkey's getting cold. You've been praying for 20 minutes." Like, that was really hard for this comida.
That's funny.
So that was dad. That is dad, I should say. Yeah.
And mom?
Mom is very like a personality. Like she loves order, she loves structure, she loves numbers.
Mhm.
She was a CFO of an organization for many years.
Wow.
So yeah, she definitely is the intellect and the pragmatic person. That's my English and Spanglish China. Introducing itself as I talk. So she's very pragmatic in everything, programmatic, goodness gracious, in everything that she does. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I like to say that I receive the best of both of them.
Okay, so what is the best? I know that the being friendly one, definitely.
Yeah. Well, one thing people don't know, like my son, he's so cute because he says, I know you as like mom, which is very friendly, very outgoing, love to network, all the things, right? But
Mhm,
what he has never seen me in is my space of work.
mhm,
So anyone that has worked with me knows like I love organization. I love the detail of it all. I think love is in the details. And
mhm,
so I love people to be a person of their word. So if you say you're going to do it, I need you to be accountable for doing it.
mhm,
That's my mother. That is absolutely
mhm,
my mother.
mhm,
I think early on in my career, I needed to learn more grace in people's truth, and I then ended up as I grew in my career, I ended up incorporating more of my father's demeanor, right? Because he gave a lot of grace. He was probably more of the extreme, right? Of
Yeah.
way too much grace, way too much grace. But that's just who he is. He's built like that, right? And so for me, I learned to find a happy medium because I was on the opposite spectrum early on with my
Mhm.
with my mother teaching me that. She was very rigid, very this is just the way it is because it is, and you didn't do this and you're out.
Oh, wow. That's awesome that you have the best of both worlds. And, we got a lot of people that have come in here and made some comments. Saya says, "Haro," and "I love the 91," said no one.
What?
I don't know what the 91 is.
What does a 91 mean? What does that even? And you
Mm,
just called her Saya. That is hilarious. It is Sia.
oh, it's Sia.
Yeah, you'll never forget now. Yeah, because
Now I'll never forget. Sorry
Sia.
about that. I got you now though, Sia. I'll never forget that.
Oh, and Gabe, the babe. I see you, Gabe. Te veo. Hi,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
brother. Con todo cariño, con todo cariño. And
Hope
Camille,
LinkedIn user says, "Hope everyone is doing well." Cooper Gates says, "I hope this is not the first time for this duo."
oh, what? Wait, who said that? I don't see.
Cooper Gates. He's the
Oh, that's
homie
right. We
too.
just met you the other day. That's right, in my other room. And then Eileen, thank you so much. Hello, Mama. Nice to see you. Oh my goodness, y'all. Thank you for being here. And also share the room, share the room.
Yes, thank you. Definitely. I see Dr. Tanya's here. Um, Sia says the 91 freeway. She's talking LA.
Oh,
She's talking LA.
he's talking LA. Yeah, that's the 91 is Riverside. What you know about Riverside,
And then
girl?
she says deuces. Oh yeah,
Well,
the
only in
91
Texas.
goes from Riverside. I think it goes all the way to Newport Beach if you keep
Yes,
going.
yes, it actually
Yeah.
does. Yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah.
and Rachel says it's great to be here. It's great to have you here.
Hi,
And
Rachel.
Cia says está similario con la silla.
Sia is using Google Translate right now. I love it. So if that's the case, no vamos a empezar a hablar en español aquí porque los demás tampoco lo pueden usar.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Sia, translate that.
She says, "Girl, I'm from Anaheim Hills,
Oh, she fancy like that. She fancy.
91 LBC. My sister lives in Southgate, so she's right by the LBC."
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
100%. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Thanks so much for chatting it up. Yes, yes, and yes. Tell us all where you're all from in the chat. Go ahead. Let's just everyone throw up their street sign.
There's street signs.
Let's have that. All right, back on track.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. And I don't even know if that's a sign, but it is. Don't shoot me, people, because I'm
You
just
come for her,
joking
I come
around.
for you. Just know that. We got each other's back. Just know that.
Back me up, homie.
That's right. That's right.
So let's talk about that growing up in Whittier because I remember when I'm from San Jose, but we would go to Whittier and we go down Whittier Boulevard was the thing, the
Go ahead. I think it's going to go down as being my favorite interview. I'm going to tell you right now. She knows all the things. Oh, my heart is going pitter patter right now. Let's talk about Tommy's Burgers, Whittier Boulevard.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh my god. So yeah, I was definitely. Oh my gosh, don't you know that Whittier girls are prettier girls? I'm just like,
And the boys too. Anyways.
oh yes, very, 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 very true. That was all during the time. My goodness, there was so much innocence back then, right? So that was
Mhm,
because I remember going down Whittier Boulevard. Absolutely, this was all in the 80s. And
mhm,
so we would drive our car. However, I shouldn't say, I mean, yes, we did, but I didn't stay in either my car or my girlfriend's car because what we did was jump on everyone else's motorcycles, right? They're a cute boy. Oh, yeah, I'm available. I'm available. And we'd ride down the street with one, and then we'd jump on a bike and ride down with another one.
yeah, that is
So
so
much
funny. That
fun.
is
And
funny.
then all the card clubs, right? And then all the just the so my group was called Pure Sweetness.
Mm,
Yeah. So me and my girls, Pure Sweetness, 100%. So it was all part of the, house parties back then. You had to pay $2 to get in. Of course, we never
mhm.
paid, but oh, we'd get the prettiest girl, and the girl would be like, "She's here. Can we get in?"
We used to call that person would be the bait.
One, and it was my best friend Bridget, and I'm just gonna call her out. It was her. She's just as gorgeous as can be. And we were like, there's five of us. We didn't have any money. We didn't even have permission to be at the party, but we were
Mhm.
definitely getting in. I would throw her to the front, and I said, "She'll kiss you if we can get in."
Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. Well, the classic cars too,
Yeah.
and
Ooh, the
the
beautiful
paint jobs.
lowriders. Oh my goodness. Are we bringing y'all back here? Are we bringing y'all back?
Oldie but goodie music,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I'm your puppet. Yes. Oh my, you are so bringing the LA girl out of me right now. That
I like the name of your group though, of your group of, Pure
pure
Sweet.
sweetness. I'll remember it was my friend in life sciences class where I was like, I need to come up with my name. I need to come up with my name for my group because and he wrote it down and he got me on the head and then he passed a little paper forward and he just put pure sweetness. I was like, that's gonna be our name. Yes. And I still have our very last party flyer. Remember party flyers?
Oh, that's funny.
Wow, wow.
Nice.
Those were the days. Mhm.
Awesome. So we got some more messages here. I see that Raquel Raki says, uh, she says, hello, hola, lovely ladies. Hola, lovely lady. Back.
Hola, preciosa.
Ah, and Cooper says, sí, no necesitaste escribir eso en inglés. And Tia says, we need to do a road trip.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, that would be great. Sia, we should just take this on the road, Sia. That's what we should do. 100%.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, happy Hispanic Heritage Month is what Raquel says. Yes, girl. Let's do the uh this is the longer. Oh, you can't see, huh?
Wait,
Because my face is
I don't
there.
know what you're doing right now.
I'm
Are you
trying to do
throwing
a
up gang?
heart, but I got crooked fingers.
I was like, are you throwing up gang signs?
No, man, I'm scared of that. ¿Y
Oh,
qué?
we're doing.
Hey, ¿y qué?
Oh, she knows. She knows.
Hey, somos pure sweetness. ¿Y
Yeah.
qué?
Do you want to be part of my girl gang? It wasn't a gang. It was a party crew. Party crew.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny. So, she says, "Happy Sia says, "Yes, happy Hispanic Heritage Month, beautiful ladies." Thank you, Sia. And he says, Cooper says, "These comments sure need an edit option." Always cracking me up.
Like our life, right? Our life always needs an edit option.
Oh, and Sia says she spent way too much on the freeway, way too much time. I know it's a parking lot. You
I know.
sit there and you park
Yeah,
a few
pretty
hours.
pretty much that's what it is. When anyone here, because I live in Texas now, so folks are like, "Oh, it's so far. It's 20 minutes." I'm like, "20 minutes? That's just a few blocks of Los Angeles. Like, we're good. I can go."
That is funny. That is funny. Yeah. My I have a cousin that lives in Taos, New Mexico, and my other cousin who lives over here went to visit, and my cousin in Taos said, "Oh, I'm sorry about the traffic," and she was like, "What? There's no traffic in comparison over here."
Yeah,
But
no, no, no,
so
no.
I want to hear about how you met your love.
Do
If
I
you
have one? Are we talking about my kids? What are we talking about? What love?
whoever your love is.
Does she know something I don't know? Did somebody send you a note in class?
You know how they used to do that? She's dating someone.
I'm like,
No.
who? What that? These LinkedIn streets are muy caliente right now. Like, what the heck? That was probably Gabe. I think Gabe was telling you that there was something going on. Oh my goodness. No, there no. Outside of my two young men, those are my
Mhm.
loves. Like at one point, one day, somewhere, I'm sure my husband is out there. Ooh, I'm rhyming now. Let my vibration reach him, and he will find me.
There
So
you go.
yes, but yes, my I have two loves, and they are my sons. Yeah, I have a 30-year-old and a 22-year-old.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So
oh
tell
yeah,
me about tell me about them.
they're beautiful. They're also very
Sure.
private.
Mhm.
Yeah, so even like my son is here, my youngest one is here with me right now. Ooh, I'm super excited. I was gonna say something, but I have to keep quiet, and that's why I kept snapping and didn't say it. He was just hired, but I was about to say what it was, but that is not my place to say, and I would have gotten in trouble from him. So
Mhm.
he will see an announcement on LinkedIn. He is here on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
he was just picked up, and this is his big first like adult job out of university. I mean, he's had
yay.
others, but yeah, this is like the one. So he is moving to Austin. I'm super
Nice.
excited. So he'll be moving soon. My oldest son is in Oregon. So we actually moved to Oregon. So I lived there for a couple of years as
Mhm.
the youngest was going to university out there. Oh my goodness, these comments are just flowing. I love it. Um,
Mhm.
and so he still stayed out there, and he's more of both of them, I said to them, okay, if you go to school, then I got you, right? Because to me, you're still a young person choosing not to adult, right? So
Uh-huh.
I'll pay for school. Like I'll pay for everything except for partying. Like I'm not doing the partying thing, but
Uh-huh.
I'll pay for everything else. If you choose to not go to university, then you got you, boo. Like I don't pay for adults who want to be adulting. Like that's not the thing.
Mhm.
So the oldest one decided that school wasn't for him.
Mhm.
However, he is revisiting that. Now that he sees the trajectory of his brother, he's like, so does that still stand? I was like, yeah, it actually does. Like
Nice.
I have no issue with that, but you decide, you decide. So yeah, I'm very blessed with my two sons for sure.
That's awesome. Well, I know how it is when you have a son, you gotta zip it because they're like, "What why are you telling people my business?" Right?
I I I literally could feel his energy. Like you better keep that mouth closed. I mean, he'll never talk to me like that, but yeah, I can feel the energy. And he's in the other room. I'm like, oh, he's like,
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. No, I get it, man. It's funny, but, and we have to listen to that, otherwise they're not gonna tell us anything anymore, right? So
correct, correct. I do not try to mess up the beautiful relationship that I have with them. So boundaries are clear, and I have much respect for
Mhm.
them and the lives that they've created. Mhm.
Awesome.
Yes.
Here goes LinkedIn user. You might know who this LinkedIn user is after I read this to you.
Uh-oh.
Ari knows I walk from work in the park to get home late at night after
Oh,
taking the bus. Who's
that's
that?
a Lynn. I know who that is. She's amazing.
Okay, okay.
And maybe, and you know what? It's either Alien or
I
I
know her,
don't
but
want to be able to do this.
she's shown here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, no,
Go
no.
ahead.
No, I was saying I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing her name wrong. I obviously said it wrong or right. Sorry. It's either Aylin or Island, and I've done this before on other platforms. And again, I apologize, friend. You know how much I love you, but that is who that is. I definitely know because I lived in San
Yay.
Francisco, and she's from San Francisco. Yeah.
Hmm. Awesome, awesome. So now we know who the LinkedIn user is. Yay! ONG giving Ariadne um directions to Texas is another level of fear unlocked.
I already know who's saying that. I don't even need to look at the chat. That is Sia. 100%. That is. I do not know why she speaks so poorly of my driving. She should be holding me up like a damn princess because I drive us everywhere. And I may put a little bit of the fear of God in her. I'm just going to say that.
Well, we got a lot in common.
I have one good eye. Respect the eye.
You good, girl. Let's see. Draki says, and I think this is when I asked you about the love of your life. She said, she's asking how you found yourself. So you're the love of your life.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my God.
She says, we are our greatest love.
Oh, I know that for sure. But I mean, I am and I'm not. I mean, when you're a mama, your greatest loves for me. Like before I had them, I would absolutely 100% without a shadow of a doubt say the greatest love was me. I was so selfish with me. I never thought I would get gotten married or had children. So I will say that before I had children, it was all about me and the biggest love was me and all the things. And then I had a child and a whole other chamber of my corazon burst open, right? For all his mamas out there, we know. Um,
Mhm.
that I never thought possible. So yes, I absolutely adore and love me 100%, but there is just a whole other layer of amor, right, for my children. Like I'll do things for them that I won't even do for me.
Mhm.
So yeah, I love me
Absolutely.
some me.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay. Eileen says, or Aileen says, wow, LinkedIn glitching again. Wasn't seeing these comments and was wondering if there was a private chat. I know I'm not part of Tu Gente and all that, but you
Oh,
are part of us.
don't get all dramatic. Don't get all dramatic.
Everybody here is part of us.
We got each other. Don't you worry. No, the
Abs-
glitching of it all. The greatest love of all. Let's see
oh,
what
you see it. Okay.
I
Go
said.
ahead, read it. Read it.
That's all she said. It said see more, and then there was no more. She just said, oh. I think I did that correctly.
You did it. You did it. Rocky says fabulosas. Flores fabulosas. Yes, you're a fabulosa too. Gotta run, lovelies, but look forward to chatting with you all. Yes. And Aileen says, as A is silent,
So it's
Eileen.
Eileen, Eileen,
Eileen.
Eileen, Eileen. Yes,
You got it right, Eileen. Thank you.
Eileen.
She she says she does drive me everywhere. See ya.
Let's see it.
But she accelerates before hitting the brake.
Okay, it's too much information. TMI, TMI. Let's go back to the interview. We're gonna forget about your people in the chat. You're giving up way too much information on me. See, this is what happens when you actually have like real people in your life that really know you. Then they come and they out you.
Tia says that was Johnny Papas. So, somebody was Johnny Papas.
I don't know who
Who
Johnny
was
Papas
that?
is.
Who was Johnny?
Yeah. Oh, it was Johnny Papas, not Eileen, who said the whole LinkedIn glitches again.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it was Eileen. Eileen, we were just being drama with you, so we're gonna be drama with Johnny Papas.
Whitney Houston people.
Oh, for the greatest love of all.
Yeah, you got it. That's the last comment. So we're gonna go back to you, and I know that you had something uh pretty traumatic happen in your life. You have to take a
Mm.
drink before that, talking about that. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
What you drinking, girly?
Girl, I don't even drink alcohol, so it's agua. I'm boring like that. I'm a nerd and I don't drink alcohol.
No, water is good for you.
Cleanses the body.
Indeed.
Mm.
Indeed.
So yeah, there was actually a few traumatic things, and so I will. I know the biggest one that people want to talk about
Mhm.
which is the first thing that actually is even on my profile, right? So I went from wheelchair to dance floor in 21 days, and that
Mhm.
was from brain tumor for sure. But even before that, there was a heart disease. So I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that. Let's talk. Let's go down the line here, girl.
Yeah. I just think it's so important because
Mhm.
what is important for me and I would hope for everyone else is that when you hear someone speak right about mindset or personal development or anything that is about getting yourself to where you want to be, right, receiving the results of your life that you want, that you actually see the results of their life. Right, that you see the fruit that's there, right? So it's kind of that due diligence. So I love speaking about this so that people understand that it's not just the one thing, but it's so many several things. So at
Yes.
28 years old is when I was first diagnosed with heart disease. I was
Mm.
pregnant with my son, who's beautiful and grown and 22, and we were given 30 days to live. So I had a 21% ejection fraction. And so I was
Mm.
put on the heart transplant list. I went into preterm labor at 6 months, and I literally was the walking dead, 100%. Uh,
Wow.
my son was born with half a lung at the time. And so he went straight to the NICU and he lived there for 30 days. So shout out to all my nurses and the NICU. Mwah! Love you, love you, love you. So we
Yes.
spent Christmas and New Year's and all the things in the hospital. So I have a huge heart for, medical staff. However, move forward. And so I was given 30 days to live and I was 28. So I'm 52 now. Yep, that's what 52 looks like, y'all. And so clearly,
That's good.
right, not too shabby, I would say.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I obviously, lived. And so that would took me about 5 years, but it did happen. So how did that happen? Well, I had 3 heart ablations. I
Mm.
flatlined. Uh, there was definitely a lot in between, a lot of hospital visits, all those things. It took me about 5 years. However, I did resolve my heart issue, and it was not resolved by anything that they did to me medically. So that was the first time I was able to look back and go, oh, this is interesting. And I
Mhm.
actually learned how to speak to my body and to my cells from a
Mm.
friend who was living with 7 T cells at the time
Wow.
and was diagnosed with HIV and AIDS. So he called me and said, listen, there's a reason why I'm still living, and it's not because of medicine. Back then, we didn't have all the cocktails that people are able to
Mhm.
live with now, right?
Mhm.
He says it's literally my mindset and how I speak to my body. This may sound a little woo woo, but do what I'm telling you to do and you're going to see the results. And I started to do that. So I started to speak to my body, I started to speak to my heart. Fast forward, multiple things began to happen. I was in a lot of abusive situations, toxic situations.
Mhm.
Tumors kept popping up. I love to say I'm a mosaic masterpiece under here, under the ropa. I'm not going to show you them. Don't start asking in the comments. I'm not showing you. I'm just not going to do it.
You out of control, girl.
Just put it out there. Give you a wanted to bring it back. So I began to do the same again, which is speak to my body, right? So I had a tumor over my uterus. It was completely twisted. It was as big as a grapefruit. I had a tumor here. So you see there's this is not a wrinkle, y'all. It's not a wrinkle. It's actually a scar. I,
Mm,
had a tumor here. I've had neck surgery. I've had a complete hysterectomy. I've had a ton of precancerous cells, and that's what that came from. All of these things, I use the same steps, right, to create the results that I wanted. Fast forward, then ultimately the brain tumor.
mhm,
When the brain tumor happened, uh, I was told it was going to be a short, quick surgery because it was early onset. I had about 10 to 15 years before I had to take it out. And I just said, why would I wait 10 to 15 years? That's ridiculous. Let's do
mhm,
it now.
mhm.
During this time, I did have my husband at the time who left me under my diagnosis. And
Wow.
so I was left to do this all on my own, with the youngest one being in high school at the time.
Wow.
However, what I began to experience once that divorce process went through, I was no longer under the toxicity that I was under.
Mhm,
Healing began to happen again. So what I realized again was, yes, the what I say now is self talk to cell talk, right? So myself speaking to my cells created a
mhm.
different result in my life than what the diagnosis and the prognosis was from medical doctors. I was able to take my prognosis, decide that, and not just walk out of there, but dance out of there once they had already sent me to go to rehab because I was supposed to be paralyzed for the rest of my life.
Wow. Wow. You just brought something very meaningful to all of us, and that's we really need to pay attention to what we say to ourselves. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
100%. I truly, I truly believe that every word absolutely matters. If you are in my life, whoever's in my life, if I'm earshot of you, I am constantly going, wait, don't say that. Rewind the tape, push it back. Let's reframe the thoughts that you're wanting to say right now. Right.
Mm,
When I do
mhm.
the coaching with people, my coaching with them, it's being hyper vigilant about the words that we use on a daily basis and making sure that every single word is truly being used for us, right? And not, I love when people say, well, use it for you, but not against you. But I would need you to do that like every day, all day long. And that is really a muscle that you
Mhm.
need to really flex 24/7, right? When we're talking to our comadre, with our friends, to our mama, especially our parents and our family who, yes, there are things that they say because they think that it's the loving thing to say or they're being supportive, but they speak words of negativity and or I don't want to use the word death, but I'm going to use the word death because they said, "Oh my gosh, te vas a morir," or "te estás muriendo," or "te estás." No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
La,
That
la,
sounds
la, la,
that
la,
oh, yeah, that's so true because my grandmother, she ended up running away from home because my great-grandmother said something to her,
la.
and after that, her life just went completely bonkers because she was supposed to get married to, this German guy over there in Sinaloa, and she ended up with a toxic man instead. So, but my great-grandmother said some negative words to her, and those are and they really affected her, so where she believed it, when you believe these things, they mess you up, right?
Right. It's when you truly adopt them,
Mhm.
right? And but
Mhm.
here's the beautiful thing. The same way that we've adopted them, we can unadopt them, right? So the same way that they came into our life, and there's a story that then we tell ourselves, right? So there's a part of it that, yes, this action happened and it is true and that it is factual. But then there's this story that we attach to it, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So abuelita may have said, nunca, you're never going to be anything in life.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
And I think there's a lot of us, different people in our lives who have possibly have said that to us. You're never going to be anything in life. Like, nunca vas a hacer nada en la vida.
Mhm.
But the additional story that we attached onto that there was no other conversation with abuelita.
Mhm.
We told ourselves that. So if we hear, I'm never going to amount to anything or be anything, then we've attached, I'm never going to get that job. I'm never going to get that promotion. I'm never going to get married. I'm not going to be a millionaire. I'm never going to buy the house. But that my abuelita didn't tell me. Your abuelita didn't tell you that. Your victimizer didn't tell you these other things, right? So I'm just getting the place of other people and other
Uh-huh.
stories that we may have told ourselves. There may have been an actual act of something, but the additional layers that actually hold us back, the reality is that most of the time we're responsible for those things.
Yes.
That's the hard truth that give it to you straight with no chaser because I love you truth.
No chaser.
But the other truth is the same way that you created that story, you can reframe and create another story, right? So it's then going back and going, they said that to me, but whoa, I said all these other things to me. Let me
Mhm.
actually speak on the facts of my life, right? And let me look at the other areas of my life that counter all those negative Nelly things that I've been telling myself. And then you get to reframe and you get to, it's like the edit button, right? Like,
Mhm.
edit,
Mhm.
I get a redo. And you do. If you're breathing right now, if you're listening, whoever's listening out there, if you're breathing right now and you are not happy with the results of your life, amazing, because you're still breathing and you get to choose new results in your life.
Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I love that. You know, Pepe Serna, what he does is he motivates children in high school, right? And that's one of the things that he teaches them. He tells them, you're the writer, the producer, the director of your own life. So that means you could shape it the way that you want it to be, and I love that because that's some children need that empowerment, right? They need
Right. And
to
let's just be honest. So, like, not just children, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm just saying. I speak like that to my daddy at 80.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Daddy, you can do this because now he's a caretaker to mommy. So it's like, Daddy,
Uh,
you can do this. Daddy, you got this. Daddy, you are strong. Daddy, you are capable. Daddy, you have all the information. Or what do we need to empower you? Like, it's not just our youth, it truly is
uh-huh.
all the way up the ladder.
No, and I think you're right. Even people that are around us that you see them going down into negative mode, and you can build them up by telling them, "Hey, you've done this, and I know you could do it because I've seen you do this before." And
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes, yes. I would love to give your audience an exercise if that's okay with you.
of course, yes.
Fabulous, because I am definitely about creating, value and giving you an actual tool to use.
Hmm.
So I know that we all have this, right? I've done this exercise. I actually have this paper. So we always have that, not enough monster. I haven't met anyone who doesn't have the not enough monster. And that not enough monster can be anyone, right? Anyone that's been chasing you down that says you can't do the thing, you won't do the thing, why haven't you able to do the thing? All the things, right?
Hmm.
So what we need to create though in our mind is actual factual facts about how we are enough. So here is the tool. You write down 50 things, 50 things of things that you have accomplished in your life.
Hmm.
And you have all of your life. I'm 52. A lot of things have been accomplished. I wrote grants. I, was a director of an outpatient drug treatment center. I,
Hmm.
helped with like all these things, right? When I was paralyzed, I'm not walking. I mean, that's one major thing, yes. But there are other things like I stopped drinking alcohol, right? Those are all personal choices to get me to a
Hmm.
healthier
Hmm.
place. It can be anything and everything. I didn't eat the chocolate bar when I wanted to eat the chocolate bar and I was trying to lose 10 pounds. Like that's a thing, right? It's a winning marker. So
Uh-huh.
you write those 50 things down. And then you're going to look in the mirror, okay? And you're going to tell yourself, I suck. I'm horrible. All the things that you tell yourself. Let's be real. We've all said these things, right? I'm not
Mhm.
smart. All those things that you hear in your head from whoever it is that said it, and that could also be you. And look in the mirror, and you're thinking right now, why would Ari have me do that? Well, you're already doing it, sir and madam. You're going to
Mhm.
do that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take this list of 50 things, and you're going to read them the same in the mirror, and you're going to read off all the things that you've accomplished and all the marvelous facts that you have, that you are more than enough, right?
Mhm.
And then you're going to do the same thing back and look in the mirror, and you're going to go, I suck. I'm stupid. I'm done. This sounds really stupid right now because I have all these facts that counter all the things that I'm saying right now.
Mhm.
You
Absolutely.
100% continue reading the facts of your life, those 50 things over and over. I actually took the list, and while I was walking, because it's really important to get it's like it needs to be a full body sport, right? It needs to be like emotions need to be injected into this. And so I when I walked around, I was walking around and I was like, I wrote grants. I worked with drug and alcohol injection users. I help people go into drug treatment programs. All the things, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
All of them. I went from wheelchair to dance floor in 21 days. Whatever, all the emotion behind it. And I read this so many times. I don't know how many times. I just kept walking around doing it over and over because I was so tired of that monster coming after me. Right.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
then I got up to the mirror and I couldn't even get past three of the things, like me telling me how dumb I was. I was like, no, now I'm sounding dumb.
Yeah, you don't believe it anymore.
No, it's done. It's over. Like
Mhm.
I will never say that again. And that list is here up in my room. So I give this to you now for you to do. Right. And so that you
Yay.
can give your brain new facts in your head and in your life and in your spirit that you can do hard things and you have, and you are more than enough.
And I'm gonna be like the guy in the movie that says, "You can do it."
Está loca.
Hey, man, it's Chicano, month. What can I say? Had to
She's
say
got
it.
that.
Had to say
You need
it.
to do it with more though. You can do it.
Oh, there we go. Well, you gotta start off, "You can do it," and then you say it
Build
again, "You can do it," and then, "You can do it." Like a
Yes.
crescendo, like a crescendo.
I love it. I'm here for it. Absolutely. When I
I
need that kind of like cheerleader, I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna be like, go, do, say.
Yes, definitely. We gotta say that to each other, and, that will be really hilarious. We
Agreed.
need to do a video together where we do that.
Agreed.
You need to say, "Can I do it?" And I say, "You can do it,
I
ma."
like that. Yes.
And vice versa, 'cause I wanna Waterboy. That's the
What is
movie.
happening in the chat? Okay.
Sia says Waterboy. You can do it all night long.
Johnny Papas, they read your comment but attributed it to the wrong person. Oh, your LI setting is hiding you. Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. I'm late in comments, y'all. So sorry.
That's alright. That's okay, my friend. So I love that exercise,
Thank you.
and I think it absolutely works. So, I did that exercise a long time ago, but I've accomplished a few things, so I need to add some stuff now.
I'm
I
sure
mean
you've accomplished many a thing, okay? Many a thing. Yes.
You too, darling, and I love what you've done. Tell me about what got you into helping people that, were addicted, 'cause I noticed you said that as one of them, and there was another thing that you mentioned that you did.
Working with gang youth?
Yeah, I wanna hear about that. Órale.
Yes. Again,
Órale,
this is one of
let's
my
hear it, homie.
favorite interviews. Yes. I definitely don't talk about this enough for sure.
Uh-huh.
So I started, let me think. I was 21 years old and I had just taken, how apropos, a
The
Chicano course.
Wi-Fi.
Oh, are you?
Okay, you gotta start again because we froze for a moment. We froze for a moment.
Oh goodness. Okay, I hope we're back. Okay. Oh, now I see
Okay.
myself frozen over there. Oh yeah, this is not good. Oh, LinkedIn being LinkedIn. Okay, so I was 21 years old, and
Uh-huh.
I took a Chicano studies class in a
Mhm.
community college, and the profesora there wrote in big writing, like her name, like Susie Rodriguez, all like gangster style up there. Right? I was like, this woman was like a chola. What is going on here? What kind of
Old English.
mistake? And it was
Uh,
amazing though. I learned so much about, my culture. I learned just so much about the Latino people.
mhm,
And she gave us all these books to read.
mhm,
And then she said, my point of this class is especially for you Latinos and Latinos that are in here, is for you to have an admiration of who you are and where you came from.
mhm.
Because for me, nobody thought I'd be nothing more than a kindergarten teacher. But today, who I am, and she points to her name, she goes, "Oh, I forgot two letters." And she walks over and she puts doctor.
That's nice. I love how she did that.
Yes.
Ah,
So this woman actually changed the trajectory of my life. She,
nice.
after reading some of my papers, took me under her wing,
Uh-huh.
and she said, "What do you do, Adi?" And I said, "What do you mean, what do I do?" She says, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I work at a car dealership place." She says, what do you do there?" I said, "I'm a receptionist." She says, "No, you were a receptionist. You're going to quit, and I'm going to put you in some community organizations, and we're going to work on your interview." Y dicho
Nice.
y hecho, within 2 weeks, I was working with Prototypes, Women in AIDS Risk Network.
Uh-huh.
I went in there, I didn't know anything, y'all. Like, zero, zero, like the lamest of the lame. They kept passing me through the interview just because of this woman, who, by the way, turned out to be the right hand woman to President Clinton at the time. And she was like
Wow.
the czar of HIV and AIDS. I had no idea.
Uh,
And so,
uh,
just because they didn't want to tell her, "Hey, your person stinks," they kept just sending me up the ladder. So finally, the
uh,
director can be like, "That one's not going to cut it." I said all the wrong things in the interview.
mhm,
I finally realized I knew I said all the wrong things because I knew I had no answers to what they were asking me. And it was all about drug and alcohol education, prevention, intervention, HIV and AIDS. I didn't know. I was saying, "Hello, thank you for calling Rent a Cadillac." Like, that's what I knew, right? So when I sat with the director, I just said, "You know what? I know that I know who I am, and I
mhm,
know what I'm capable of. So I'm going to speak from that, not from what I don't know, but who I am."
mhm,
And so I will tell you, I showed up with just who I am. And I was very clear with that with her. And I said, "Listen, I don't know anything about what you're doing here. What I do know is that Susie saw something in me. And what I'm thinking that she saw in me was my ability to absorb things like a sponge. I promise you that if I've given the opportunity, I'll be the first one in and the last one to leave. And you will never regret hiring me because I can learn anything you do here. But what I do know for sure about me is that I love people deeply. And if you give me an opportunity, I'll show you how much." I was hired on the spot, changed my
mhm,
life completely. And I started to work with I had no idea, by the way. I didn't ask all the questions.
mhm,
I worked on the streets of Los Angeles, Skid Row. I
mhm,
worked with all the injection drug users, teaching them how to clean their works. And so, yes, that is important.
mhm,
I worked with gang members in East Los Angeles. I worked with all the Latinos. I worked with all the African Americans and Blacks on Grape Street in Compton. And I
mhm,
taught education and prevention of HIV and AIDS, safer sex, and drug and alcohol, domestic violence prevention and intervention. That was
mhm,
the start of my career at 21 years old. By 21 and a half, I was already writing grants and I was
mhm,
getting projects funded. By 23, I was known as an expert in the field, and I
mhm,
just kept getting coached from there. But I loved it. I loved the fact that, yes, I did a post on this which said, my first stage, my audience brought guns and knives. And that's how I learned to actually be quick on my feet, to be authentic, to be true, and to be a giver, not a taker. Because had I shown up any other way on those streets, I would have been killed. And that's not
uh-huh. Absolutely, you can't fake the funk when you're
no,
there
no,
because people sniff that out right away.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
and people love people that love them, so they saw that you really cared, and
Yeah.
that's why you're still here, homie. And I see that after Waterboy, LinkedIn user said he was Cajun. Well, excuse me, I thought he was Latino, but I embrace the Cajun. I'm embracing it. Uh, Sia says it was the other guy. OMG, forgot his name. Rob Schneider's character, and it's a and because of what you're saying, the gang members or the why you got hired, Sia says it's because you have fire in the belly.
Yes, ma'am.
You
That
are
is it.
open to learning
Yeah.
by the uh, fire hazel.
I love Sia. I absolutely love her.
I do too. I mean, she's part of the interview here. It's funny.
Seriously though.
Come on in, Sia. Well, next time we're gonna bring you on down in here, girl.
We might as well.
And she said that was Johnny Papas. Excuse me, Johnny Papas. I still love you, homie. He's great when it comes to script writing and things like that.
Oh, okay. Did not
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I'm friends with Johnny Papas. I might be, so I take that back, Johnny Papas. If we are, I'm so sorry. I apologize. But if not, I will connect.
Lisa says, you two were fired. Thank you, Ariadne, for sharing your story. Thank you, my
Thank
rebel
you.
sis, Angelica, for being you. Thank you back. Go ahead. You were going to say, Adi.
No, I was just telling Lisa, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And
Uh,
let's see who else. Is that
oh,
just
it
the
was fire hose. Okay. Man, these letters are small. I don't want to put glasses on.
we were doing our best, and don't let these glasses fool you. I can barely see it.
Hey, you know what? That's okay. I got two strikes against me.
Oh, no, not the strikes.
That's when we talk. But anyway, anyways, I want to hear some of your stories working on the street.
Oh my goodness. Where do I start? What kind of story? Because I've got a ton of them.
I want to hear something in how you might have changed a gang member in the streets, and
Mhm.
what it is that you did that you saw really made a difference.
I will tell you then two quick ones. One, because I also worked with sex workers, and one in particular sex worker, her name was Linda, and she was from the workers out there in Rosemead, right?
Mhm, mhm,
So, and we were teaching HIV and AIDS and education prevention and all of those things, right? And I also knew that she used a lot. And so my thing was, I want to keep you as healthy as I can until you can make a choice for yourself to get clean and sober, right? So
mhm,
one day she came up to me and she was like, "Listen, why the hell should I listen to you? Why? Like you're not an addict, clearly. You're not a sex worker, clearly,
mhm,
and you're
mhm,
not a drug. I mean, you're not in the game. So
mhm,
why the heck should I listen to you?" Well, I just looked at her and I was like, "The nerve of this woman." And I said, "Well, maybe you would think that because I'm not all of those things, I actually have something to show you. Because what I know how to do is not be addicted, is not have to resort to sex work, is not have to be in a gang." And she was like, I said, but con todo mi respeto, with all my respect, here's
mhm,
the thing. I'm here because you're not. So if you want someone to represent you, why don't you get your ass together,
mhm,
get clean and sober, and let's get you out in these streets. So each one teach one.
mhm.
I will tell you, first of all, that was pretty brave of me. Because oh my gosh, I'm just gonna give myself kudos and the fact that she didn't just knife me at that moment.
Let me give you a kudo right here. It's a little pat on the back.
Thank you very much. I look back at my life and go, I do not know how I'm still living right now.
Mhm. That's wonderful, girl. But you know what? She could see that you cared. Okay.
Yes, and let me tell you, I did not see the results of that conversation. I saw them immediately, probably about 4 months in, because she did call me eventually, and then she
Mhm.
says, "Okay, I'm ready." And so I had to get her clean. You have to be sober for 24 hours before you can go into a treatment center.
Mhm.
I went to pick her up. She was clearly not sober. I'm like, can't do it. Bye. When you can just handle 24, I just need 24 hours. If you being sober, we can do this.
Mhm.
So I picked her up. Actually took her somewhere out of her comfort zone. I also took her phone, which she was not happy about because I knew that she would leave, but she wouldn't leave if she had nowhere to call anyone.
Mhm.
Bottom line, she did get clean and sober. That is the last I heard of her until when I went back to take a certification class in school. Guess who I ran into?
Who?
To her.
Wow.
And she was going to school to be a drug and alcohol counselor.
Oh my goodness, girl. That is that is, that's enough to make you feel like you really made a difference, you know? That
I
is
will
awesome.
never forget her. Never forget her. And she said, "You were right." And my goodness, we embraced and I cried and the whole thing. That's my story with her. Um,
That's beautiful.
the second one is
Sia says, um, "Hey, trying to tell her she's late for her own audio room."
can I blame it on Angelica?
Blame
Can
it on Angelica. See, we need to get together, girl, because this is just too little time, okay? I'm just saying. Oh my goodness. But you got people got your back over here. They let's see. Epic to see you, Sia. I can't wait to see Sia too. She needs to be in here one time. Aaron Gibson, that's what he said. And he says, hello, hello from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Hello.
Hola, hola, hola. Okay, I will give it because I said I would give it to you, and I want to honor Juan for what he also did. So Juan was my gang member.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I can still see his face. That boy was so pissed off at me because
Hmm.
I rode him. So I was the director of an outpatient drug treatment program, and
Hmm.
we did jail diversion, right? So I had 32 hardcore gang youth that were all supposed to go to jail for whatever crimes they committed. But we were under this grant with USC that was like a wraparound program, right? So they came to school with me. They not just got their school education, but they got emotional intelligence, right? Personal development, all the things. That was my absolute favorite program.
Hmm.
Juan was like, oh, the most defiant jackhole in the world. And I say that with so much love because he's my favorite, actually. Yeah, he really is. But oh, that man tried me. Oh, that guy. Oof. But I just knew there was something so special in him, right? Because as much as he was fighting me, I knew how much he loved his mother and as much as he loved his little sister. So that
Hmm.
there were qualities in there that I just held on to every time he really ticked me off and I wanted to kick him out of the program. But if I
Uh-huh.
kicked him out of the program, he would go to jail, right? He
Uh-huh.
kept doing multiple things to get himself kicked out of the program. I'm just going to say that. And the
Hmm.
last thing he did was not show up 3 days in a row.
Hmm.
So I could have easily turned him in. We had a probation officer that we worked with actually on site.
Hmm.
And I just knew that there was something there. So I did what I do. I got in the car. I went to his home. And when I got there, he just dropped his jaw and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Literally, that's what he said. And I said, "Well, you're not in class, so clearly I have to come and get you." He says, "Are you crazy, old lady?" I'm not old, by the way. He said, "Are you crazy, old lady?" I just have to, in case you all wondering.
Everybody's old if you're not a teenager, right? When you're a teenager, after 20, you're considered, old, right? So,
100%. 100%. But he's like, "Are you crazy, old lady?" He's like,
uh-huh,
"You're lucky they don't take off your rims right now from your car. What are you doing here?" And he's right, because it was sketchy where he lived in little projects out there in Pasadena. And I
uh-huh.
said, "Well, I'm here because you're not here. Is your mom home?" "Yeah." "Okay, I need to talk to her." "No, no, no." I said, "Listen, you can either go to jail or you can open up this door to me. So you decide." He opened up
Mhm,
the door, I went in. Long story short, because I'm late to my own group meeting,
uh-huh.
whatever it is that I do here.
Part 2, we're gonna have to have a part 2.
We will have to have a part two. The audio room. Uh,
Oh.
what are these folks saying here? Okay, sorry. So I said, okay, I said, here's the thing. I said, why are you not, in session? Why are you not going to your groups? Why are you not coming to school? And the mom came out and the mom was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I have to go. Juan, she's called him Juanito. Juanito, make sure that da 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 of his daughter. Oh, excuse me, of the the child, like his sister. And she's walking
Mhm.
out the door, and I said, "Excuse me, señora, we need to have a conversation. Juan needs to be in class." And she says, "He can't be in class because if he's in class, then I can't go to school. Excuse me, then I can't go to work."
Mhm.
Do you see what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So I had to
Yeah.
sit mom down for a second, a very quick one because she did have to go to work. And I said,
Mhm.
"Well, here's the thing. If Juan keeps missing class, he will not be able to help you with your daughter because he will be in jail.
Mhm.
So you need childcare. Let's get you the respite care and the childcare that you need. So I'm gonna need you in my office first thing tomorrow when you're not at work." Bottom
Mhm.
line, that's all. That changed Juan like this. And he looked at me and he goes, "You're a crazy fucking lady for being out here." He says, "Damn, why do you care about me so much?" And I looked at him, I said, "Because you don't care about you so much. But I want to
Mhm.
show you that as pissed off as you are at the world,
Mhm.
all the world isn't pissed off at you. I'll see you in class tomorrow." And then he turned around and he said, "All right, you can have your tires back."
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
they were about to take off my tires on my car.
Your tires off. Oh, that's awesome story, girl. Well, we got more to hear, but I guess we gotta go into your room right now.
I have an audio room, guys. I have an audio room. Thank you so much, Angelica. I appreciate you. I appreciate the time here. I appreciate everyone that's here on this
Mhm.
live. I really do. I see, hear, and value you con todo mi corazón.
I think this is the first time I met Sia, and I think she's it was a lot of fun. They are so late, she says. Thank you as always for the invitation, Angelica. You're always welcome, Aaron. And love your energy, Ari. Um,
Gracias. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Los quiero mucho.
and he says, I thought you were, oh, Sia says, I thought you were in Australia. What the heck? Oh my
I think
goodness.
he's talking to someone else. Like, definitely can't be me.
Okay. So yeah, thank you everybody who's here. We started a little late, but sometimes things happen but we're here and we love you. And we got to go to her room now.
See you soon.
There's got to be a part 2 to this, my friend.
Sounds fabulous to me.
Okay. Love you all. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye,
Love you,
guys.
Adi. Bye. Ciao.